All of our tractors, as you know, or as we move forward to follow all the guidelines, we're going to Tier 4. We're in Tier 4 now, going to Tier 5 engines, and so all the new tractors are burning the urea additive in there to clean up to run and meet the standards on the emissions. And it's quite expensive, and most of our irrigation pumps eventually will have to be converted to, and I mean, we have 40 pump motors, and not one of them are Tier 4 even, and so down the road we know we have to start tooling for you. It's not easy to tool an old motor to meet the standards, so you almost have to start over. But we have a few more years before that takes place. I'm hoping to give that problem to my kids, not me have to deal with. Pardon me? No, they're not. No. I actually have, like I say, I'm getting ready to have my 13th grandchild. I have one 8-year-old, she's the oldest, and the rest will be 5 and under. I was a slow starter, so I'm a little older for that, anyway, and then my kids were slow starters and they're making up. Seems like I have, for the last 5 years, we've had 2 or more grandkids a year. Now what you see in, right there, we just went by a field. Did you see some of the spacings have been being changed around a little bit? Everyone's always looking at production and stuff, and sometimes what we do for production does not necessarily work out on the other end when we find out, yeah, we produce more, but the quality's not there. And so what you see now is some guys are conventional beds here. Most of Yuma is on a 42-inch single bed that we plant 2-line or 3-line on, and then in cauliflower we plant single line, and then there is some 2-line. That's 2-line cauliflower, right? Or no, it's broccoli. So, but that's kind of the configuration. Or you see the big beds that are here to the north of us. That is spinach and stuff that's planted either on an 80 or an 84-inch bed, but some guys are messing with 34-inch beds and then growing 2-line on a 34-inch bed, and with some success. Pardon me? And he's planting wheat there. And that, see, the moisture there is probably at a point that they're behind. They did the tillage and they're actually planting that in the mulch, and with the moisture that's still there. You hope. Because you got to plant it too deep, so if it doesn't come from the moisture that's there to flood it, it's not any good because then it's too deep. So usually there's enough there, but like this field here, they harvested it and then they pre-irrigated it, so there will be plenty there. Now this is some of the seed crops, like for cicada. You can see the different varieties that are planted. Those are what we call female or male plants. They're different inbreds, and like that variety, we say they don't really like each other, because you'll plant 2 males to every female because they do not pollinate very well. So you try to bombard that single line female with as much pollen as you can. And so it's just funny how some varieties in those hybrids, they just don't like each other, so they just don't cross and breed very well. So, and actually what we do in broccoli seed and cauliflower seed is you get that head that you see, we let that head get about 6 to 8 inches, and then we go in with a knife, and we actually, what we call it is pinching, but we cut the heart of that out, where we end up with 2 there, whether it's cauliflower or broccoli, and that way that it expand and extend. If we do not cut that out, it is so tight it won't extend and produce seed, or actually it won't extend to bloom. Okay, just pull right in here anywhere, and we'll go over there by the module feeder. This is Yuko Ginning. It was a co-op, and then years ago, on hard times, we changed, and then it became a stock-held business, and we gin anywhere from 30,000 to 60,000 bales a year here, and but it's all held by farmers that grow cotton, and so it's still in a lot of ways run like a co-op, but it is a stock-held corporation. And we've done a bunch of just to stay up with the industry and changing in the what's going on in the gin. So you can see the seed coming out on these little piles. That's black seed. So what we're ginning right now is Pima seed, and Pima seed, when you bring it off the cotton, is not a fuzzy seed as we call it that's white. It comes off pretty much just the seed by itself, so it's black. And so, but that's kind of a little bit of a difference is what you see. Just pull right up into that shade would be fine. These round modules, this is the newest thing in harvesting by John Deere. These, we're in the custom harvesting business, and we do those type of bales. And so basically what we did, we bought 2 6-row round bale module machines, and we replaced 4 6-row machines, 4 module builders with tractors, bow buggy, and 12 men.
No problem with boll weevils?
Not here, no. Years ago we did have boll weevil problems, and we eradicated them. And we're in the process of eradicating pink bollworm, and to the point this year's the final year of an eradication. They have not found we have a sterile moth program and everything, but they have not found a viable pink bollworm in a year in the Yuma County.
You ever seen the statue with the boll weevil on it?
Yes, I have. All right, well, we'll get out and let me see what Keith says, but this is actually what you're looking at is a module feeder. And so we set them off there, they cut the plastic, we roll it off, and then these things are set on there and they automatically feed the gin. The gin, this is a dual gin, one of the few that operate around, it's the only one operating in Arizona, and there's only a few of them in California. But this gin under the same roof, can't gin them at the same time, so we can convert this gin from a roller gin to a saw gin. And Pima's ginned on what a roller gin, and Upland is ginned on what they call a saw gin. So we're ginning Pima now, and it runs a lot slower. We can run 40 bales an hour through Upland, and we can only do about 10 bales an hour on Pima.
Is the Pima a long staple?
Long staple.
Yeah.
Let me just check real quick, but the gin got a lot of moving stuff in it, but it's got a perfect channel. You can kind of walk through it. If you have any hearing issues, it is very loud inside the gin. It's just kind of a roar. It's not any banging noises, but it does have a pretty good roar in there.
That's my son.
Well, this is Blake, my son, and he helps me in the cotton side of the deal. My other son hates cotton pickers. This one's dumb enough like me to like them. So thank God I got one of them. And so anyway, and so him and I run, him and I pretty much by ourselves along with everything else in 45 days. Last year, the year before last, picked 16,000 bales. And this past year with the cotton acreage way down, we picked in about 20 days or so about 8,000 bales. But those machines are amazing because they do everything on board. That thing is all done, goes in the machine off the plant and comes out in that round module.